Hi, everyone.
Hey,
I'm Alicia,
and I'm Meredith.
and this is It's About the Pasta, a Vanderpump Rules podcast. It is season 10, episode 5, the first episode we are recording since Scandival broke.
Post. Well,
Er,
no,
no, last
second.
episode we did Scandival, but more shit came out. Now
I
we have
just,
more of the story. We
it's,
feel like we have all the things coming out.
it's really hard. I think I would have hated everything going on no matter what, but it's actually even harder to swallow everything going on in this show on
Yes.
the Rachel side of things.
Yes.
I'm fully changing her name. I'm done with this Raquel bullshit.
Rachel.
Yeah.
Well, okay, I'm trying to think. We recorded the last episode the day after the news broke,
Yes.
like less than 24 hours.
Everyone
after.
was popping off in our DMs, and I was like, aren't you happy we're actually delayed and like
Yes.
such scumbags on like timing things?
Yeah, literally. So I feel really like this is the first episode since it like truly
That
broke
we
and
have
we have
watched
the information.
through the lens of the Scandal.
That's it, because we have
Yeah.
already watched the episode and then
Yes.
we like get the news.
Yeah.
This is it. This is for me the new beginning. So we have a lot to talk about, so let's just get into it. Check us out on the A&M Podcast Network. We have this podcast. We have Summer's Fun, a Summer House podcast, which is also live right now, and we have One Season Wonders. Please be sure to rate, review, subscribe. Meredith, we have a new review, and it's 5 stars.
Yay! Wow.
Okay, it's from Amy RV.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Amy's in Canada.
Love.
And it is titled Go, 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 Go. I'm not even, that is my highlight. I love James. Anyway, she writes, you girlies are fantastic. It was recommended through Justine from the Shore Store podcast, which, side note, I have listened to since seeing this review. Everyone go listen to the Shore Store. You already know what it's about. It's about Jersey Shore.
Oh, wait. That is the sweetest thing ever that we got recommended on another podcast. This has never happened.
So I'm going to recommend the Shore Store podcast. I love Jersey Shore. I think it's prime TV, so everyone go do that.
Oh my God, we need to connect with them.
Anyway, and Justine did me a solid because you two are hilarious. Can't wait for you to discuss the Tom, Ariana, and Raquel. It's Rachel now. Raquel situation. 5 stars, no notes.
Thank you. Notes. Also, just a reminder, we do have a full like debrief episode of like the breaking news on our Patreon. It is open to the public, so even if you don't want to join, there is that initial episode out for everyone. But we will continue to give our thoughts on the more breaking news.
We will touch on information we know. Don't podcast by the people gave us the information they think, so we will comment on it. Don't you worry.
Great.
Okay, before we get into that though, follow us on Instagram at Vanderpasta. If you really want to know our thoughts, that's fucking where to find
during the week at all times. I can't wait to see. I actually cannot wait to see my screen time because it is probably 300% increased from last.
Yesterday I went off. Or I guess now it would be like last week. But on Wednesday, I was going off.
It is so funny because Alicia and I are both signed into it. So we're constantly posting things at the same time.
Wild. It's wild. Also, join our Patreon, patreon.com/Vanderpasta. That's where you can find our full debrief. It's available to everyone. But if you want to join our Patreon, I'll tell you what you can get. For $1 a month, you get access to all of our fun pre-shows where we talk about whatever we want. We did kind of need a break, but of course, this is all we can talk about. It's like Mean Girls. We just can't stop.
We did come back to it in the end.
We have to. Also, you get access to any episodes we record early, including this one. This is Thursday. This gets released on Sunday. Could have had it sooner. You need it because you're like, we got to digest all this shit.
Yeah.
All the time.
Yeah.
Okay. For $2 a month, you get access to everything I just mentioned. Plus, you get access to our after show that we do when we go back and watch old seasons. We are obviously not doing that right now. But eventually we will, and we'll have to like
those will be.
Don't know what happens.
I was about to say those will be real interesting now, knowing what we know, to go back, and we have to do. I think what is it, 5, 6, 7,
like with no spoilers, which is wild.
So like the post shows are I know. A lot.
Also, we'll say her name on the podcast. So thank you to Chris, Danae, Dee, Dustin, Gabriella, Jackie, Jamie, Casey, Katie, Kelsey, Chrissy, Sarah, Cameron, Tiffany, Tonette, Tracy, Amy, April, Courtney, Emily, Gina, Jennifer, Kirsten, Christina, Ruby, and Taylor.
I love this random corner of the world we have collected. It makes me feel like I'm not alone in my Bravo obsession, because nobody in my life outside of you, Alicia, like shares the psycho love for these shows. So like, I like knowing that there are other people out there who love it as much as we do.
I like knowing that Raquel or Rachel and Tom fucking up has been the best thing for our Patreon.
It has collected us together, guys. We're in this together
because people are sharing their thoughts. Also, we do have a Facebook group too. It is the same name as the podcast, but people have been posting in there saying like, I have no one to talk about this with.
We're just trying to aggregate this community together.
Feel free, please let us talk about it.
Friends amongst friends in the drama of the scandal.
Literally. So then for $5 a month, you get access to everything I just mentioned. Plus, for live shows, I will post, I did not forget, and you will give us your thoughts, questions, concerns, everything. And we will read them on the podcast. It's wild. So that's what we're going to fucking open up with. Ooh. But also we'll pick a patron of the episode. So this week's patron of the episode is KT. She is new. She has joined the $5 Lisa tier. And welcome you.
This one's for you.
Katie.
Did Katie comment?
You're loving it. No, but we're hoping Katie loves it and really gets into it soon.
Comment late about previous episodes, the Scandival. We'll read them at any time.
We'll read it. Okay, so let's start with thoughts that were posted even before the episode aired. So Sarah says, when I watch it, I'm going to make the audacity list. My soul is ready. Do it. Who has the audacity?
Seriously.
Okay, and then Casey said, so she goes through the Scandival.
Yes.
She says, where to even begin with all this mess? I've watched all the Insta stories, listened to multiple podcasts, and it's insane. I think they're going to re-edit the rest of the season to end on this now, since they're filming this weekend. But there's even more drama on that now with Sandoval refusing to film. Rachel claiming revenge porn. At first, they were going to be together, but now they're not. Exhausting. So yes.
I have a few takes. I think they're going to force Sandoval to film, or he's not going to be on the next season. And there's no way he is going to not do season 11. Come on. His ego will never drop this show. Second,
Rachel claiming revenge porn.
That's just ridiculous. We talked about it a little bit on the pre-show.
Here's what I learned. So I don't know exactly, and maybe you do, who Rachel is claiming Ariana sent this to herself.
I think it's her sending it to herself, but the thing is, you got to get Sandoval involved by saying you didn't want this film. So you're not going to go bury Sandoval to get to Ariana.
Also, I've read, and again, we do not know the official truth, truly. I also read that Rachel had sent this video to Sandoval.
It was a FaceTime that was screen recorded.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So here's what Kristen said on her podcast, right? She said that Ariana, like Tom's phone got passed around. Ariana grabbed it because Tom was on stage, and something in her gut told her, look at Sandoval's messages, right? And Ariana's got a good gut. So she read them, and that's how she found out.
Yeah.
I am assuming that she took pictures and videos. And
I wonder if she sent it
she should
as proof. Yeah.
To herself. I don't know all the laws of revenge porn, but I think that's super fucking stupid of Rachel, because she literally home wrecked. And
I think she's going to play this out in the court of public opinion rather than actually taking Ariana to court. I think she's just on this massive PR tour of I'm the victim.
Literal boo. Okay. So, Casey goes on to say, I can't believe how long this affair has been happening, and literally in plain sight of Ariana. She's going to have trust issues for the rest of her life, but I think the best days are ahead of her. I agree. This girl is going to, once she does bounce back, and everyone believes it. Lala said this, Stassi said this, and Kristen all said this. Once she can move on,
process this.
She has to process, she has to grieve, she has to go through the stages of grief, all of them. Once she gets there, they all say they're not even fucking worried with what she's going to do. She's going to be the baddest bitch on this
Hell
scene.
yeah. I want to know from the reunion when this started, like the exact moment when they first kissed, when they first hooked up. And I don't think I'll get this second answer, is have Ariana and Sandoval been sleeping together during this 7-month affair?
During it. Yeah. Yes.
Because actually I find that even shittier.
I want to know, and I guess I already know all I need to know, but these lightning bolt necklaces, that is fucking disgusting.
The fact that it's in the Tom or the sweatshirt logo, disgusting.
It's like they're wearing it in front of us, like they're making captions, like it's so fucking gross, honestly.
Yep. Okay, I will never look at a lightning bolt the same.
Harry Potter's ruined. I'm just kidding. But
don't bring Harry Potter into this, Rachel.
Casey has more thoughts. So disgusting to even think that Sandoval came up with the whole Schwartz scandal too, to distract from what was actually happening. I don't think Schwartz knew he was in the scandal. So I don't know if Tom Sandoval was smart enough. I think it just fell into place. I think someone tweeted Raquel and Tom Schwartz were making out and Sandoval was like, great.
I think they both probably said, hey, this could take some heat off of us and divert attention.
We're just going to let it go. And Schwartz isn't smart enough to be like, it was Sandoval.
No.
Like nothing.
No.
Okay. And to think that at BravoCon, everyone said Raquel was going to have the most to answer for. And we had no idea actually what's wrong with this girl. Even like last week, she claimed what a good friend Ariana is and has been, and she's been doing this to her. I just can't believe there's people living like this.
On Wednesday.
She was on Chicks in the Office.
Yes. Like she did a whole press tour with Sheena in New York before the news dropped Wednesday night. Like, how delusional are you?
Oh, duh. Okay.
Please don't ever do this to me, Alicia. I don't think you can, but I'm just asking one time.
I don't do this. I am a girl's girl.
We made a rule. Never. No body, no boy.
No body, no boy. And also, this shit
dead body.
does not fly.
Talking about
you can't pull a Rachel. You can't pull a Rachel. Those are 2 rules. No. Okay. Casey says, I don't believe their fake ass apologies to Ariana because guess what? If they actually cared of how bad they were hurting her, they would have told her sooner. If Sandoval actually had quote unquote, all this love for her, they wouldn't have had all these secret signs to each other. And no wonder he's been so focused on the band because that's where he's been hooking up with her.
Yep.
Hell, the band was probably all a cover up for it too. Ugh, I'm fuming. He's awful. He's an awful person. And Rachel is far worse than just the D and the S word. Truly. Team Ariana for life. Oh, Amen. Also, he should have thought twice about putting his name on his restaurant if he was going to be a complete shit of a person. Boo-hoo, people aren't going to come support a liar and a cheater's restaurant when clearly the affair was more important than getting it open. Your actions have consequences, sir. Phew, that was longer than expected, but I had a lot to say.
Hell yeah.
Good for you. Get it out. Casey, that was a good way for us to put it out there before we get into the episode now. So we are openly Team Ariana. If you're not, you can stop listening to this podcast.
Dude, Jax even tweeted, there isn't a team. There is no team. It's just everybody in the world is Ariana. We don't even, because that means there's another team and there's not.
You're right. Also, Jax tweeted, see you on Watch What Happens Live. And I'm so scared. I can't believe I want this.
He wasn't on it. I even saw a video of them filming and they looked, or the girl who was at the bar did a pano of the audience. I literally paused it on my Instagram to see if Jax was even in the audience. He was not.
I think he wants to be invited as a guest.
I think he thought he could put it out there that he was coming, and he's been like calling and texting Andy. Andy said that's the person he's been talking to the most. I think that Jax thought if he put it out on Twitter, then Andy would be like, oh yeah, come, like just sit in the audience.
No, you clout chaser.
No, this ain't
okay.
It.
Let's get into this episode. So previously on Vanderpump Rules, Katie wants to plan a girls trip with everyone but Sheena. Schwartz did Sheena's podcast and was asked about making out with Rachel. Katie called Sheena a troll.
I actually love that diss so much.
I love the troll comment.
I'm going to use that in my real life.
Rachel actually asked Schwartz to make out and he said, are we still filming? Schwartz and Sandoval are paying rent, but Greg owns the lease. So that's what we have.
Yes.
So we pick up at Sender One, a climbing, yoga, etc. place where Brock and Sheena are vlogging and working out. I love that they have no shame.
But like Brock isn't dedicated to the filming, so Sheena's like, "Are you filming me?
Are you gonna film me?
Hold on, sorry."
It's funny. These two are so funny together.
There's also a vlog, I think, from BravoCon, where Sheena is pumping up Sandoval for his performance. Rachel goes to walk into the room, sees Sheena filming, and walks straight out.
Boo.
People are going through all the records, and I appreciate the internet for doing all the digging.
Fucking boo those hoes. Okay, so
shout out to Sheena for actually getting all the vlogs.
You know what? Shout out to Sheena too, because people are just taking clips of the vlogs of like Sandoval and Ariana making out and being like, he was hooking up with Rachel at this point. Oh my fucking God, what trash.
Sheena has given us a record when they weren't filming.
And she was friends with both of them. So we get all of it. A
lot.
So, okay. So Katie and Charlie, they're hiking. Charlie's hungover. She's getting her shoes all dusty. We should have just went to McDonald's. I love her. If it's not Charlie, I don't want it.
More.
I know. She's really underutilized. Seriously. She's got to show up at this reunion. She fucking hates Rachel.
And season 11, we have a gaping open field for her. Like, give us more.
Okay, then we have Cammie and Jax, which is a swimsuit store, and it's Rachel and Ariana. And they're talking about going to Lake Havasu. Apparently, it's famous for Girls Gone Wild type.
Well, we got a Girls Gone Wild right here in Rachel in a different way.
So Ariana cannot believe that Rachel told Katie that she asked Schwartz to make out. And Ariana literally goes, I thought, like, am I going to be mad at Raquel for the first time?
That hit me so hard.
When I tell you the whole time, I just kept going, oh.
Here's the thing also, I don't think editors re-edited this episode. It is really hard to turn around because of approvals and stuff. A re-edit. I think they're going to go back on some episodes, but they're going to be later on. Well, this one, there's no way.
We also saw a lot of it on like coming up next episode. So there's no way they could have changed this.
No.
This was fucking real. And so
I'm sad.
Ariana's been encouraging Rachel to get out there and make mistakes and go crazy, but like not this crazy and like not as crazy as she's gonna go.
The foreshadowing is so hard. So, but even in this episode, a standalone, not knowing like about the Sandoval stuff,
it's hard to watch. It's awful.
I am still upset in the summer of 2022 version of this.
Also. I agree. Because then Rachel says like she feels it's unfair for Katie to dictate who Schwartz can hang out with or hook up with. But after seeing the way Katie reacted, she feels bad. But I somehow don't think she feels bad.
I'm like, okay, if I didn't know that you kissed Schwartz down the road, I would maybe believe this. Because
I'd be like, great.
I could not sit and watch Katie. And she got emotional. Like the first time they were just chatting about it a little bit more casually.
Yeah.
But last night at their drinks with Ariana, Katie, and Rachel, Katie really expressed how hard this is.
Yeah, if we didn't know anything, right? If they gate kept literally everything, we would be sitting here being like,
Rachel would never.
Like, it's going to be okay. She would never. We'd still be calling her Raquel. I will only call her Raquel in quotes.
Yes.
Anyway, Rachel said Katie and her were never close friends because Katie always had beef with James and Katie didn't go to the puppy party.
Listen, I get that she had beef with James before, and so your friendship never flourished back then.
Fine.
Shut the fuck up about the stupid puppy party. I would still feel this way even if you didn't kiss Schwartz or Sandoval. Like, shut the hell up about your stupid puppy party.
Also, James and Katie are cool.
And
they're cool.
We see it like down in a minute with Katie that like their friendship is budding. They are slowly bonding this season over things. So even if you're like, we don't have a friendship now, think about your future friendship that you could have with Katie.
I think Rachel's like, I don't have a friendship with her, but Katie's like, we're gonna start a friendship because we're in new places. Yes. So it's very like,
and Katie is still trying despite Rachel telling
Also,
her that she wants to make out with her ex-husband.
Rachel should know, right? Katie has hung out with her twice over dinner. Katie is inviting her on a girls trip, but not Sheena. Like, is Rachel just like, we're still not friends?
If Katie wasn't putting in some effort and doing these things, I could be on Rachel's side a little bit more and like understand her point of view. But Katie, it from a viewer, I'm in my
it looks like Katie's
trying. Yeah.
Yeah. So cut to rock climbing. Lala called Sheena, told her about the girls trip she's not invited on. She heard it already from Rachel, but Katie said also she's not coming to Sheena's wedding. So Sheena took her ass off that list.
I wanted a call. I wanted to see the text of Katie declining this wedding because I feel like we skipped right over this. And to me, when we were getting reports from the live season when it was filming, I thought this was huge news that Katie did not attend this wedding.
I thought so too, but now seeing it, I'm sure she probably just told like Lala, I'm not going to the wedding, or we're like Rachel or someone, and they were like, we'll let Sheena know.
I think
I feel like
later Sheena said, or at this moment Sheena says like Katie texted me she's not coming.
Oh, well then fuck it. Bye.
It was so cut and dry and simple, and I was like, well, I thought it'd be a little bit more interesting.
This is not the most interesting point, Meredith. We do not have to worry about this. So Sheena and Brock are going to have this wedding in Mexico, fire dancers, water drums, a mariachi band, but not Katie's bitchy ass.
Give me a crop top wedding dress or I'm out.
I love it. So Sheena starts to get emotional because Katie made her feel bad about herself, probably because she called her a troll. And Katie's a fucking bitch, and Lala knows it because Lala's been on the receiving end of it. And Lala's kind of like, yeah, and I was kind of like, I get it. Yeah. Katie's not the nicest when mad
Katie
at you.
Goes for someone, she goes
hard.
Yeah, she does have a good skill with
she
that.
Hurts.
Yeah,
she hurts.
Yeah.
So Lala says, sure, but you have to have empathy for the divorce, and you're pushing Raquel or Rachel to make out with her ex. And Sheena's like, it's a joke, and also, we're missing that we should be mad at Schwartz because Schwartz said, if Raquel and I do end up making out, it's because Katie drove me to do it. And it's like, no, if you make out, that's your own fucking 100%.
I will say also, Sheena, it was not like cheeky and just a little funny thing. You literally hosted a fucking pregame to push these two together. But yes, Schwartz, you are responsible for your actions. Stop blaming it on one of the women around you.
We're also missing, like, if Schwartz and Rachel didn't want to make out, they're just not going to make out no matter how hard Sheena pushes it.
That is true. That is a really good point.
I think Katie secretly is most mad because she knows these two people would do that to her.
Yes. I think she's just like upset that she's not getting support from her friends on this whole divorce chaos. And so she's like redirecting her anger about a situation she can't control to Sheena, who she thought, I hate to say could control, but she thought Sheena would be more on her side, I think.
Yes, I think it's a situation she can't control. I think that's the biggest issue. I think Schwartz is her ex. Rachel's an asshole. Like, of course they would fucking do this to her.
Yes.
But she can't get mad at them for even thinking about doing it, right? Because they haven't technically done anything.
Yeah.
So she's gonna get mad at Sheena for saying
something that has happened.
Yes.
She can anchor her anger in an action. Yes,
which we'll get to. Okay, so cut to hiking. Carly can't go on girls trip because she's auditioning for the new Gwen Stefani makeup brand.
Good girl.
Good for her.
But I want you to be there.
Charlie is surprised that Rachel's going, though. She makes a reference to Zoolander. I've never seen Zoolander, so I can't.
I haven't either, but I appreciated the argument, the idea of the argument from Katie. It didn't land for me.
Sorry. So Katie said her and Rachel are trying to be friends, and she likes Rachel. So she wants to get to know her for who she is. But what Sheena's doing is a no-no.
Like, and this came out for volumes for me with Katie. I'm like, see, Rachel, she wants to be friends with you. Like, she is trying. That's what I took away. I was like, I'm so angry because Katie is so positive and trying to put like the confession about wanting to kiss Schwartz on the back burner and not react quickly like she probably would have done 10 years ago.
Yeah, this hurt too.
She's trying to be a girl's girl right now, and I really appreciate it.
It all hurts, okay?
It hurts a lot.
So we go to Villa Rosa. We see Pandora's son, Teddy.
I needed this. This was a great palate
cleanser.
Yeah.
We get to hang out with him before Pandy comes back. Lisa and Ken are in love. Lisa's a fucking obsessed with this baby.
I love their life.
So Lisa and Ken put Teddy to bed and they talk about Tom's lease, right? The Toms can't afford to buy Greg out. Which we find out is like 200,000 to 300,000.
Yeah.
So they don't have that. Ken and Lisa, though, they don't want to get involved in another restaurant, especially one where the Toms own 30%. So we have that. So Greg has to have less than 30% for them.
No, I thought they said that they don't want to be the owner of a restaurant where they only own 30%.
Oh, I thought the Toms owned a full, and they were like, they cap out at 5%.
Either way, even if like, let's say that the Toms each own 30%, Greg owns 30%, and maybe like Sandoval's family owns the other 10, like they're not willing to not have majority control, I think is the overall argument here. And
by majority, it's like 95%. Also, this restaurant,
but I think they would get involved if they knew that they had like 60%.
Maybe, yeah. But this restaurant
I think they're really smart not to get involved here.
Yes, but this restaurant's also like not their style. It's not, they don't want to put their name on it.
No, and later on, like Lala, when they're at Vanderpump Paris, says like Lisa's restaurants all stand alone, but they all have a similar vibe. And I think that's huge. Like you are building a brand. Like this does not fit into your brand portfolio.
No, we don't want to slap our names on this. And also, it would piss off Greg, and Greg's also in the restaurant business, and they don't want to do that.
No, it's not. But
they still want to help, so they're gonna go see Schwartz and Sandy's and figure out like what they can do. So then we go to a restaurant with Allie and James. They're gonna meet James's mom. James doesn't drink alcohol around his mom, but she knows he's drinking again because his mom is also sober. She's been sober for almost 4 years. And she has not seen James drink in 2 years. And he knows that his mom will never drink again. So they'll like meet up and be sober buddies when James is done drinking.
This weirdly makes me feel better about him being off the wagon. Because I feel like he's aware that it's not the best thing for him. And I think he's more self-aware about his drinking, which is really helpful.
I think Meredith and I are not alcoholics, but I think he's kind of maybe like us, where we don't always have to drink, but do we love to drink sometimes? Yeah.
I think he has a harder problem once he starts drinking, stopping.
But he's aware.
Yes. Yeah.
He doesn't always have to be drinking.
And I love his respect for his mom's recovery.
Yes. So Jacqueline's here, that's James's mom. James tells his mom all about work, and it's awkward with Raquel. And then they share that Allie and Raquel had a whole conversation, and Allie does feel like it was kind of an interrogation. And Jacqueline's like super she like fucking hates Raquel.
I think Allie's saying that to kind of like please James's mom.
It was kind of like Raquel was like, did he tell you how
that first one was not. That second one definitely was more like forceful.
That first one, Allie was like, I feel like our lives definitely switched.
Such La La Land.
That was so funny. Okay, so Jacqueline doesn't really like Raquel, and also Jacqueline likes that James and Allie met organically, and a family member didn't drag her to meet at like the DJ at Pump. But then Allie in her confessional says she met James because her friend Zach dragged her to one of James's shows, and the rest is history.
I can't.
But did you see the TikTok I sent you?
No.
So this is true, right? Raquel's sister dragged her to Pump to meet James. Yes. And from what Lala has said, and Logan, because he was on Lala's podcast, they said that basically, right, James was performing and Raquel made it very known she wanted to meet James.
Yeah.
And the cast literally left Pump and went somewhere else, and Raquel and her sister followed them there to continue to try and meet James. So it was, and she was just there. Like the cast said, she was like this creep fan that like couldn't get enough. However, Allie's friend Zach is very big on TikTok. His TikTok, or I think is like Zachary Reality.
Mm-hmm.
He commented, he's like, this was me. Hi, I did this.
Yeah.
What happened was he was invited to one of Sandoval's shows. James was opening at the show.
Gotcha.
Sandoval's manager asked Zach to get content for Sandoval. So Zach said, I brought Allie, my friend, as one of my plus ones. Allie didn't even want to go, but Zach did drag her there. And then he said they went backstage because he was working with Sandoval where James was. And he says they hit it off. Like it wasn't.
It's more
It
natural.
was edited bad.
Yes.
So
okay, this makes so much more sense, and I think Rachel's is like fucking creepy, and Allie's is like, all right, a little weird but normal.
Yes, Allie was hungover from her birthday the day before. She did not want to go out.
Yeah.
Zach was like, please.
But that's how like celebrities have to meet people in weird moments, you know, like you're not going to just walk down the street and meet someone in a normal fashion anymore.
Yes. So this was very like he brought Allie and he said they naturally did hit it off.
Yes. Okay.
But good. It's not like
that makes me feel so much better. And because I feel like his mom didn't know what was happening.
Yeah. So it was organic.
Okay.
Okay. So James has not spoken to Peter. I don't know why that's important.
No, that's his family friend sponsor person.
Oh, you're right.
Yes.
Oh, fuck.
I literally was like, oh, about like Raquel and Peter going on a date.
Yeah. You're right. James being sponsored by, All right.
I literally was like, sponsor. Peter. And then they showed that guy and I was like, oh, this guy.
I fucking missed that. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Jacqueline asks if it's wise to be drinking again. James, this is my favorite James moment of the episode. James says it's fine, but then it cuts to his interview where he goes, it's not wise. And then he goes, if it was wise, I would move to Budapest and become a monk and be sober there. But like, I'm not wise, so I'm not doing that. He's
aware. Like he's self-aware now. Before he was unhinged and so not self-aware that he was just a destructive path. Now he's like, all right, I'm a little tornado.
I feel this though. Like if you ask me, is it wise to eat 12 cookies in a row? It's not, but I'm gonna do it.
I'm gonna do it.
I know. So Jacqueline's like, okay, but like it can be rough. And Allie, you'll have to experience James like drinking and that can get rough. And Allie tells us in her interview when she first met James, right, at the show, he was sober and it was one of her favorite things about him. She thought it was so cool and mature, which makes her like 21, but you know, whatever. But then a month later on his birthday, they were both in Vegas. She was sleeping next to James. And he said that he drank. And she was like, I didn't even know. Like, have I ever met sober James? So she's just questioning it.
I'm happy she has some red flags early, being like, this is weird to me, because I think it'll help her navigate his drinking to be like, this is not good, and address it sooner rather than later if there are real big issues.
I'm also happy she's aware. Like she's not like, I feel like Rachel was very like, James is fine to us, and then would yell at him, whereas Allie's like, I'm not going to argue with you when you're drunk, but I'm going to tell you when you're sober that I like when you're sober better.
I agree.
Okay. So Jacqueline's concerned. James is like, you know what? You just can't offer me an ultimatum though. You know, it's not wise. And then James is like, ultimatums never work because like Katie offered Schwartz an ultimatum and look at that. And
I mean, I don't think ultimatums work. So
I know they don't. I agree.
Like, I do see his point there.
Yeah, whatever. James is a genius. Okay. Then we go to Schwartz and Sandy's. We got boxes everywhere. Lisa and Ken show up. Great. So Sandoval walks in. He's stressed. He had to write another check. So the four of them sit down. And Lisa's basically like, I'm taking the girls to Vegas. And Schwartz is like, should we do guys' night? And I was like, open your restaurant up. Open it up.
Yeah, get to work, sir.
So Lisa's basically talking to them about helping with the restaurant and offers them their investment back from TomTom, which I was like, this is smart.
Yeah.
Get out. Yeah. But within the year, they have the option to buy back into TomTom.
This is a really nice offer and a nice last resort if they need like cash. Like having liquid cash is huge, especially for businesses.
Also, this is a fucking genius for Lisa on a business front, because who would have thought the Toms would be under so much shit now? They might not even be in TomTom anymore.
Lisa did say on Watch What Happens Live, like, we will get an update on TomTom because some things have changed throughout the year. So like, what if they took this offer?
And they couldn't buy back within the year because now they're like, don't come back.
Well, they won't have the cash to buy back in.
Literally.
I found it ridiculous that Sandoval was offended that he would only get his initial investment when at the start of the season, I'm pretty sure Lisa said for the first time, they're finally in the black, which for people who don't know what that means they're finally like actually making money. The opposite is in the red, where you're just negatives. It is really hard for a restaurant to make money, especially within the first few years. That's why most restaurants fail. And so your initial investment has not grown in this restaurant. So like actually getting the exact investment back is huge.
It's really big, but he thinks he put in sweat equity.
No.
Great. No. So Schwartz doesn't want to do that because that's like very much his last resort.
I think that's a good option.
They are getting to a point where they need to explore all the options. And I was like, man, doesn't it suck to put your money into a restaurant that in a few months after opening, Sandoval's going to fuck it all up and no one's going to want to go there? Doesn't that fucking suck for some people? It's great. It's awesome. Now we're at the scene of the crime. We're at Tom and Ariana's house.
Oh, this was hard to watch.
This hurt. So, oh my God. So Sandoval claims he's sad that Ariana's leaving him. Also, Tom doesn't know what Lake Havasu is. And I was like, haven't we been there on the show before? Doesn't it sound familiar?
Yeah, it does. It is a different lake. They usually go to, where does Stassi's mom live?
I could have sworn.
Or like, are you talking about the Rob scene where Jackson was drowned?
We have been to so many lakes. One of them was Lake Havasu. Anyway,
probably.
So Charlotte is Ariana's soul dog for the past 18 years. Longer than her and Tom. Charlotte had a seizure last night. So Tom is on doggy duty. He has to give Charlotte the medicine, but Tom's a big old bitch and he can't even fill the medicine without Ariana's fucking help.
This like annoys me just in the grander scheme of like workload that people do in houses and how it's split. And people don't realize like the mental load. Ariana's doing the mental load here. All Sandoval needs to do is do the physical load. Like she knows the medicine needs to be picked up. She's already thought about it, probably already has a prescription set up with the pharmacy.
Probably gave him directions.
Just go get it.
Just do it. And he's like, should we do it together? And she's like, what?
Just
so I have to do it too?
Yeah.
So he's exhausting. Anyway, immediately my thought is, if Sandoval does something to this fucking dog, I'm gonna lose my goddamn mind.
I don't think he would actually do that. I don't think he's that horrible.
But like, I hate him. Anyway, then we go to Katie's apartment. Christina fucking Kelly is here. Thank God.
Oh, I love her.
She's the best. They're going to go to Lisa's Vegas restaurant. It's Katie's favorite. I, for a second, was like, have I been here? No, this is Paris.
This is the new one.
I went to the one in Caesar Palace, which is, I think, the garden or whatever. Yes. I don't know. Anyway, Katie tells Christina Kelly about Rachel asking to make out with Tom, and Katie's happy that Rachel took responsibility for it, even though I said, what? And then
Katie's like, you know what? You're being honest with me. We can be friends. We can move forward because you're being honest about what's going on and nothing has happened yet.
I guess.
I think Katie's trying so hard to be a girl's girl and be friends with Rachel.
Yeah, because Katie's still like, you know what? It was planted by stupid little Sheena.
Yes.
And then Christina fucking Kelly, man, she says it all. She's like, hey, Katie, you're giving Sheena way too much fucking credit for this because like Sheena's not that smart. Like, let's be honest. Also, she in her interview is like, Christina Kelly's not falling for Raquel's or Rachel's innocent, stupid act like she's a baby because that's an insult to babies.
Read her like a book. I mean,
immediate.
Christina Kelly, I needed more of you, I guess, this season to help save the freaking world.
Someone better get Christina Kelly on their fucking podcast after all this shit hit because she was on right before. She was on Sheena's and Lala's right before.
Let's get Christina Kelly and Kristen on a catfish show for Bravo.
Well, Christina hates Kristen. She said she smells like alcohol or cigarettes and stale beer.
Well, maybe not anymore.
But Lala, Christina Kelly, and Sheena all did the 2 podcasts together.
Yeah.
They did Shenanigans and they did Give 'em Lala. Literally right before this all dropped. So I need her to come back and talk about this. I think the 3 of them are moms, you know.
Christina Kelly did sit for an interview. I saw that on Instagram. She was very pregnant in her interview outfit.
She's amazing. Anyway, okay, so then we go to Rachel's apartment. Lala's here. They bond over, you know, leaving their exes and hanging out in places called the Treehouse. Lala then asks Rachel, or if Rachel misses the friendship she had with James, and Rachel says yes. And Lala's like, I don't, because I didn't really have a friendship with Randall. But when you're like emotionally invested in someone, you don't see the red flags. And we've talked about this.
Yeah.
Like, it's very easy to get lost in the sauce.
I feel like this was such a bonding moment. I feel like all the girls are really creating space for Rachel, and it is soul crushing because they finally actually are doing the right thing. They did really roast her in the past and like destroy her, and they're like correcting that now. And now Rachel's gonna actually blow up this whole life that's being created for her.
I know, and I just want to move past it because I like can't get emotionally invested in this anymore.
I know. I'm like, don't you dare trick me, Rachel. You're not
anyway.
Nice. Not today, Satan.
Not today, neck. Not today, ankles. Anyway, that's a Potomac reference if you guys don't know. Anyway, so Lala did say that like if it wasn't for everything that happened, she wouldn't have Ocean, and she has to think of it that way, or she's gonna break. Which like it's very emotional. I feel so much empathy for Lala. She just can't believe this is where her life is, and she's like in the midst of legal battles, and the two of them get emotional together.
Yeah,
which is bullshit. And Lala's like, whatever, I'm gonna go crazy on this trip. I'm gonna make out with a man. And Raquel's like, hopefully there's enough for the two of us because there's really slim pickings out there. And I was like, I could die.
I was like, there's slim pickings. You're literally fucking your best friend's boyfriend at the moment.
I could die. Anyway, so Lala's like, yeah, but we have different taste in men. And Bravo immediately cuts to James. Yeah. I was like, and even Schwartz, because Lala said like something, she was with James. It's when she hated Katie. And she was like, cheers to me fucking Schwartz tonight.
That one wasn't serious.
She doesn't like Schwartz like that, but it was still funny that
I love them digging up some receipts.
Yeah, that was straight out of hating Katie.
This is like
it was so funny.
Correlation isn't causation. Like these aren't actually linked together.
James, fine. Yes. That's like great.
Lala, that was like 6 years ago. But I think Lala's taste has changed. I don't think Lala ever wanted to date James.
Well, let's be honest. James is hotter than Randall, so her taste might have gotten worse.
That's what I was thinking. Is like I think
the decline.
We've gone downhill.
We've declined. Okay, but Lala hasn't had sex since she conceived Ocean in 2020.
I can't. That makes me feel better because I feel like her stepping away from Randall and that relationship actually might have been easier because she wasn't so entangled with him in such a romantic way.
Also, if we just want to see what a piece of shit Randall is, their sex life declined after Lala got sober, and Randall told his assistant Lala used to be fun, kinky, and sexy, but then she got sober. Absolutely not.
I don't really buy that. Maybe like when she was drunk, she always wanted to hook up right in that moment. But I think Lala's pretty kinky sober.
I think Randall's a piece of shit. I think he's just being a piece of shit.
I just want to kick so many men in the balls today.
And Rachel.
Anyway. And Rachel.
So we go off to Lake Havasu. Katie just wants to have fun, let loose with her girlfriends, and Rachel. And you know,
this other chick.
Also, I'm excited for because I think Christina Kelly might still be hiding her pregnancy. I don't know from all. Katie might.
No one knew.
Okay, so I immediately was like, I'm excited for Christina Kelly to hide her pregnancy.
I thought the same thing. I was like, can't wait to watch this Vegas moment go down.
So we're in Vegas. We're at the Paris. Their suite is awesome. Lisa hooked them up.
It's big, but it's kind of lame, the decor.
Well, it's Vegas.
I know.
So they go to the Vanderpump Vegas or Paris. Sorry. Lisa's here. People keep taking her fake jewelry off her dogs that aren't worth anything.
Okay, here's the thing. I feel like I'd be drunk at this restaurant and also do the same thing.
I would take it without it being worth from anything.
Glue that baby down.
I would say Lisa Vanderpump picked this out.
I would be like, guess where I stole this from?
Yeah. So then back to the suite. Lala and Christina Kelly have a surprise to show Rachel. Sorry, it scares the shit out of Rachel because it's an ugly ass Schwartz pinata.
I love it.
Looks nothing like Schwartz, but it's funny. And Lala asked Rachel if she's turned on, and Rachel's like, I mean, I'm not turned on. And then she's like, I'm just kidding. And Lala's like, we should have you committed.
Yeah,
actually.
God.
Christina Kelly's face is literally disgust.
Like, what are you doing?
Disgust. So now we cut to a spa day in LA with James and Allie. We find out the new moon is in Leo today, so thank God for that.
Yeah, whatever that means. When she said Leo, I thought of a lion.
Well, that's the sign
I know, but
Leo.
I just saw a lion like playing with the moon.
I don't know what the fuck this means, but like, God
we
bless.
texted about this, and
God bless
I
you.
accidentally said I think Mercury's in retrograde, and you go, "What is that?" I don't know what that means, and I
don't know
go,
what
"Me
that
neither."
means. So James really needed this. He's been mentally beaten up by everyone because he had sex with Lala back in the day, and everyone just finding out.
I love a distressed James because of a cheating scandal he had like 4 years ago.
So James tells Allie about meeting up with Lisa to get tea. He claims he didn't move fast with Allie because he was in love, and Allie's like, actually, it was fast.
Sure,
which is
James.
where I'm like, Allie's like on Earth, and James is like on Jupiter.
I am giving Allie more and more credit the more and more she's in this show.
Yes, I agree. So James brings up Lisa wanting him to stop drinking, and Allie's like, listen, James, I actually like you better when you're not drinking. But I'm not going to tell you what to do, but that's my opinion.
I love how she was like, I will never like openly tell you constantly and like, I don't want you drinking. But if you ask me, I'll tell you what I prefer. I love how she is willing to be honest, but she is not going to nag him about it, because at the end of the day, if he doesn't want to be sober, nobody's going to, it's not going to be successful, as we saw with Rachel.
Yeah.
And that was not Rachel's fault. It just, James needed to do it for himself.
Yes. And I appreciate Allie figuring that out. And she's like, I'm not going to get involved, but whatever. And she says, like, when you're in control of it, it's fine. And James, again, hates ultimatums, whatever. This is actually where he says the Schwartz and Katie thing and says, what's changed? Schwartz is just slightly heavier living in his crappy apartment. I howled.
The read, like, woof.
Oof. This man is lethal.
This is what I love about James is he just like hits you to your core, but I'm like, but he's not wrong.
But so funny too, the way he could insult me to my face and I would laugh because he's so amazing.
The way he says it, his accent, the fact that it's correct,
it's endearing. So Allie's basically like, look, everyone's concerned, and James is like, I'm fine. I'm like not even drinking at work. And she's like, bar. Great. So the bar's low. We love it. Anyway, let's cut to Vegas. This part, when I tell you I teared up, and listen, Meredith understands me. The rest of you are going to hate me. I'm not the biggest animal person because I've never grown up with an animal.
I'm not either.
Man, did I cry a little bit.
I felt for her. And when I see like friends being upset too and like getting emotional, that's what does it for me, is like the community and the support for a person. Then I'm like, of course I support you.
I think Ariana
you can't talk to me one-on-one about your dog. I'm so sorry. I just don't care. But like seeing her sad, that's what I care about.
I think that like Ariana could stub her toe and I would just like start crying for her. Cause I knew she was going to go home to Sandoval, and that's what made me mad. Anyway, so Charlotte isn't coming back this time. The vet has called her. Charlotte is not going to make it. So Ariana, she doesn't deserve this. She doesn't have another fucking dog. They're all crying. Yeah. They encourage her to go home for Charlotte. It's very sweet.
Really quick, I saw Lala, Christina Kelly, and Katie there.
Yes.
Where was Raquel?
Rachel sucks.
Like
she hates everything.
Were you FaceTiming her boyfriend?
She's on the phone with Sandoval right now.
Sex with her boyfriend right now?
Like, fuck you.
I was like, we're in the suite together. This girl is sobbing, and Christina Kelly and Lala could hear it from like a different room. Where are you?
Fuck off, Rachel. Anyway, so Ariana leaves. The girls continue to get ready. They go to Vanderpump Paris. Mm-hmm. Terry's here, Katie's mom. We love Terry.
Love the moms.
Her mom has lived in Vegas, so of course she's coming to dinner. They're also going to go to Disco Pussy tonight, and they invite Terry, but Terry declines. So they meet their server.
I wrote it Oliver. Server, by the way.
Server. Oliver. Again, if you don't know who Oliver is, he is son of Garcelle, who is a Real Housewife on Beverly Hills. Mm-hmm. He, from what I understood, was married at this point. I don't think his wife knew they were separated because she lost her mind.
Yeah, we have met Oliver, his wife. They have, I think, 2 stepchildren, And then Oliver and his wife
biological.
have one child together. So we've met them on Beverly Hills. And at this point, the wife says that they were together. Oliver claims that they were separated. So it's a he said, she said situation. But the wife went on and like, not at this point, whenever the date happens later on in the season with Rachel and Oliver, the wife popped off on Instagram because there were other people like in Oliver's DMs and she had the passwords.
Does Rachel just like men who are in relationships with other women?
Well, I wasn't sure because my biggest thing coming into this episode was, does Rachel know Oliver is married? Because that's the line for me. I don't blame her for kissing him if she had no idea. That's not somebody's responsibility to figure out if somebody's in a relationship. But once you do know, then it's your responsibility. And at this table, Lala says that he's married.
Yes. So Lala immediately super sexually attractive to Oliver.
Yes.
Rachel had no idea who he was, but now she's kind of into him. I don't know. But anyway,
he doesn't seem into him yet. Lala seems to be talking the most.
Has eyes. I think Lala's just so like into it.
Yeah.
And Rachel's just kind of checking him out. So when Lala first met Oliver, she wasn't in a place in her life to hook up. But she's feeling bad for her vagina. So we're gonna get her fed, baby.
She's open for business.
So Lisa also joins the girls. Then we cut back to LA. Sandoval picks up Ariana at the airport. Ariana had a full-blown panic attack on the plane. She's like crying in the car. Sandoval lets us know that Ariana never wanted children, but if she could have birthed Charlotte, she would have.
I'm happy I'm watching this episode through the real lens I know now, because if not, he would have looked sweet. Like he brought her a soda. He was so attentive. Like,
is it bad? I almost felt like for a second.
I started to.
I tried to I'm really gonna try to watch the season like as a viewer, but it's hard because for a second I was like, oh, he brought her a Coke. And then I was like, no, he didn't mean it.
That's why I want to know, when did this really start? Give me a date, because like, how can you do this and go through this and then continue an affair?
So we also know that Ariana has a lot of anxiety, a lot of depression. She's opened up about her mental issues before. Sandoval in his interview says he's concerned how this will affect Ariana. And that's the same fucking thing he said as to why he never told her about his affair, which is such bullshit, this man.
Yeah.
Barf.
Well, like in this situation, yes, you can be concerned about how like Ariana's going to be affected by your dog dying, but do not use it as an excuse to continue to cheat on her.
I like can't even take that anymore. Do we think Sandoval and Rachel were hooking up at this point?
Yes. It like, I haven't heard of a first date, but everywhere I see it started in July. And and they said it started before the Daily Mail party. All over the internet. That's what I've heard. So like, we are well into the affair at this point. And James is online being like, this is a Taylor Swift album. Just look for all the Easter eggs.
It is. He's so funny. I want James to fight both of them with his words. I think he'd come out on top. Anyway, we go back to Vanderpump, Vegas, Paris, whatever. Lala tells Lisa she's had a crush on Oliver for a long time. And Lisa then, because Oliver brings back some drinks, and Lisa's like, hey, Oliver, have you met my girls? And Oliver's like, yeah, we just met. And Lala's like, And Christina Kelly says it in her interview. Lala's got a big ego. She's butthurt when people don't remember her, especially a cute boy. Lala, though, in her interview says she doesn't give a fuck because he's going to be lucky if he remembers her tomorrow.
I do love Lala's ego and for her to be shut down.
It's funny.
Also, I want to be one of Lisa's girls.
I do too. I love it. Terry's a girl.
Yeah.
Anyway, Lala's like, whatever. He's married with kids. And Lisa's like, no, I heard they're separated. Which
Lisa says it a little bit more quiet though, the like separated part. And so in my book, if you hear he's married and a question like, oh, I heard he might be separated, this is a no.
Yeah, you don't. This is a no. This is clearly gray. You shouldn't step in a gray area. So, Raquel's like, we should invite Oliver out, and also she's now getting into him a little bit more. So then we cheers. Terry's already done with her martini at the cheers. So shout out that that bad
There's
bitch.
nothing worse than people finally cheersing and you've already taken down your entire drink.
Terry. So we talk about the sandwich shop. Lisa's like, yo, I got a good space near Sir. And Katie's like, if you're saying it's good space, I'm gonna come check it out.
This is exciting.
This is where we want it. Don't go by Schwartz and Dandies. Go the other fucking way.
No.
So then Katie said she was really lit the last time she was here. And that's when she talked to Sheena about all her divorce shit. And Katie tells her mom that she's not going to Sheena's wedding, but she does have a non-refundable room booked. So she might be going to Mexico, which is what I would do.
Yeah, especially because all my friends are going to be there. So like, I'm going to hang out with my fucking friends in Mexico.
Yes. So then Lisa's like, what's this whole story? So Katie starts to tell it, you know, she opened up to Sheena about the divorce and like whatever. And she was drunk and Sheena just took her word at her word and ran with it. Even if Katie did say it, she was drunk. And then Rachel's like, yeah, Sheena put the idea of hooking up with Schwartz in my head, and then it just stayed there. Which again, I'm like, girl, you ballsy. Just lie and say, no, I don't want to hook up. Her mom is right there.
I know. I love Lisa getting some accountability, like, no.
Lisa's like, Sheena has said a lot of things. That doesn't mean we all fucking do them, girl. Take some responsibility.
Yes.
And Rachel's like, I know, I told Katie, I also asked him to hook up. But like, so I'm taking responsibility that I did that.
And then Lisa's like mortified,
horrified. And
this is hard. It is hard for Lisa to feel like you are a terrible person. We have seen her with James coaching him through his alcoholism. And that is not even the lowest point. I've never seen Lisa look like this to anyone who has done horrible things except Kristen.
Also, the absolute disrespect for Rachel to say this in front of Katie's mom.
So casually, too.
On me. I'm so happy Terry was literally like, what the fuck?
Yes.
Let's stop. She says, like, look, we're all emotional about it because this was like a really long-term relationship. Also, Katie doesn't always show her emotions, but we talk and she's sad and he was family and it's going to hurt. So don't fuck with this. How about you fuck off, Rachel?
Nobody has said it so plainly to Rachel.
Rachel knows.
And Katie's sitting there tearing up. Crying. You know, Terry is talking about they're actually legally still married. They're selling their house. Like, this is really hard. No matter how like good of a face she puts on, do not go there. And I cannot believe this happens.
She still goes there.
I'm pissed. I'm so angry.
Like, truly, the disrespect to say this in front of someone's mom. Like, that to me is just...
That's true. I never really took it at that level.
Right? You're being honest. You're filming a reality show. Like, she could say, like, look, Sheena did put in my head, I did think about it, but now Katie and I have talked and I would never go there, and be like, I did ask Schwartz to make out, but like, I'm very sorry about that. And I will never go there. There was no
contrition to it. There was
nothing of she felt bad.
Every time she retells this, she's just telling it as fact, not like... remorseful, like I was really drunk and I shouldn't have done that and it won't happen. But this is where you can really tell Raquel has no morals, no loyalty. Like, you cannot trust this girl.
She's a bad person.
This is giving me trust issues to have friends.
Same. If not manifest for them getting married to the best friend's husband, this is it. This is it.
It really is rocking me to my core because I'm like, how can people do this?
Meredith, I'm making a pact. I would never do this to you. I am such a girl's girl. I would never goddamn do this to you.
It really helps we don't live in the same city too, so I can believe you.
Can you kidding. Say it back to me?
I won't ever do this to you. I'm so sorry. See, to me, it's just understood. Like, I was like, this is just normal society shit. Like, why do we have to say this out loud?
Say it back.
I won't do this.
Anytime I make
no dead body. No boy.
Anytime I make a new friend now.
Don't go after my boy.
When I make a new friend, I'm going to be like, would you tell me? Is that what you would do?
It's Rachel.
I know, but people, I can't just say, would you not Rachel me? People would think about Rachel from Friends.
Yeah.
So, but we refer to her as Rachel. Anyway, so we go to Disco Pussy. It's fucking lit here.
It's actually kind of lame.
I know. Oliver and it's lit with lights.
That's true.
Oliver and his entourage of boys show up. both Rachel and Lala are flirting with Oliver, like both of them at the same time.
My
but
favorite
it's like
thing is when Lala gets to the point where she's really like talking to him about their bonding over the kids and whatever. And like Rachel's just in the middle. There is nothing worse than being in the middle of two people flirting.
She just says shit to like get involved in that shit.
It's awkward. It doesn't make sense. This is like Rachel should notice, like Lala's vibing with him, like let me just be.
Get out of the middle.
Like you don't have anything in common with this boy, and clearly Lala does.
So yeah, Lala does ask, and I appreciate this. Lala's like, "Hey, how, like, are you still married? What's happening with your wife?" And this is where he says we're separated. So he has now opened the door, and I get that.
Yeah.
So then he does say they have one kid, and Lala's like, I have a kid with my ex, and like they're around the same age. They show some pictures. Rachel's sitting there dancing, going, babies, or whatever she says. It's so stupid. Anyway,
I hate her.
Christina, Kelly, and Katie go to the bar. They meet some men with mustaches. They're gonna buy them a drink. Christina Kelly is having soda water, but Katie goes, I'm having tequila. And I was like,
that even more.
Oh man, Tequila Katie's here. Anyway,
I want a raging Tequila Katie just for the sake of it.
I do too. I want her rage texting Sheena and Schwartz and Sandoval and Raquel in the next room. I want everything.
Oh man.
Anyway, so Rachel and Lala they're at the bar now and they're talking about Oliver, and Rachel's like, oh my God, I'm also into Oliver. And Lala's like, look, I'm going to have fun whether I make out with a man or not. So if you need this, like, do whatever. And Rachel's like, yeah, it's just like crazy that like I'm also into him. I feel bad if like you're into him too. And Lala's like, listen,
the way Rachel is saying this is like she keeps saying it like, I feel bad if you have something, and keeps waiting I'm for
obviously
Lala
gonna get him
to say like, no, you can have him. Like Rachel would never give this up. Let's be honest.
Also, yeah, Lala's like, crazy how I say I'm interested in someone and then like Raquel over here is also interested in him. But Lala basically says you're overthinking it. If you want to do something, like, I really don't give a fuck.
I don't think Lala wants to like discuss this. The minute you discuss it, it's like the fun went away. But I really think Rachel should have been able to perceive that Lala and Oliver had more in common and remove herself.
I'm not going to say she's the S word or the D word, but
Jesus Christ, that's the best line.
So good.
So good.
Okay, so Christina, Kelly, and Katie. Christina Kelly's a great wing woman. She's not flirting, but she's keeping the conversation going. She's flirting her way to free drinks, like just enough to get those free drinks, you know?
Yep.
Katie, she like slides Katie in too. So Katie doesn't love mustaches, but it's cute boys. We can't be too picky. No. And she gives the man her number, and he's like, great. And he looks like great in the camera when they're walking away. And he's
it would be really hard post-divorce to like get back out there and like talk to boys. As someone who has never left the game, I find it hard.
It is hard. We can confirm. Anyway, Rachel and Oliver are now talking. He's like, hey, I'm gonna go to the bar and then we're gonna go on the dance floor. And she's like, what? Okay.
Or she goes, what?
What? Are you leaving? So stupid. Anyway, they go on the dance floor. Literally no one cares, and then they start making out, and we get a lot of scenes of them making out that I do not fucking care about.
Here's my opinion on making out in public. I'm not in college anymore.
No,
this is embarrassing. We don't need this. Go like in an alleyway, or like try to make yourself a slightly discreet.
Can we also agree that this edit was weird of them making out? We kept cutting, but like it was like a romance movie. I was like, what? Or like a music video, it looked like we kept cutting to different angles and going around.
Doesn't feel like the Oliver date was production set up?
Maybe.
But like, I find this the dumbest thing. I hate it.
Stupid.
It isn't fun. I don't feel like they have a connection, so I'm like not rooting for it, let alone knowing everything else. But
whereas Lala and Oliver could have discussed their children separation.
Yes.
Anyway, let this be known, Lala says, if it was a competition, she would have won.
I agree with that. Yeah. I don't think Lala would win every time, but this one, because they had a connection.
This time. So next time, James and the Toms do a guys' night, which I fucking hate guys' night. Also, Sheena's there. So that's awesome.
Oh, wow. Just bring it back to the bus in Mexico where she'd rather get gangbanged by all of them.
I like never want to say that again. James, he cannot be around Raquel. Sheena's staying out of Katie's sex life, or Sheena's giving out Katie's sex life to Schwartz again. Oh, Lala said she would never trust Rachel around her man if Rachel was drinking. And Rachel says basically like, happy that you don't have a man for me to steal then. And everyone's like, what the fuck, Rachel?
It just is getting more and more unhinged.
She is like so rude. If
so across
like,
the line.
I wouldn't trust you with my man if you were drinking, I'd be like, holy shit, am I the problem? Or I'd say like, look, I'm not going to do that to your man. Literally anything.
I would be like, wow, I'm so sorry I got a little too rowdy. Like, I'll rein it in.
Did she try to hook up with Randall? Like, what is happening here?
I don't know.
Okay, I don't know. So let's do accepted and blocked. And then we'll do podcast by the people.
Yes, let's do it.
Do we block first? Should we just block her?
Rachel, obviously. Rachel. I can't even talk about it.
Great, we already did. Anyway, who do you want to accept? Who's someone that you want to see around for the next week?
You know what? I am gonna accept Katie. I really love that she is doing this divorce trip. I feel like it is bonding the girls. I think it's so cute. I loved her chatting with Charlie. I wish Charlie were here on this trip. I love always seeing you know, a mother-daughter duo. And so that was really great. And I think it is unfortunate that her mom had to make her more vulnerable, but I think like Katie is being so vulnerable about this situation as much as she could in her personality type. And so like I really commend her and feel for her. And then I love seeing her get out there and, you know, try to break into the dating thing and giving out her number to a boy.
I agree. Listen, just because I try and pick different people, I don't want to have the same person. So I love Katie, but I'm going to pick my second place winner.
Yeah.
I'm going to accept Allie.
Ooh,
hot take.
I love it.
I really liked Allie this episode. I think that she was edited bad. I'm glad her friend Zach went on TikTok and like explained it. I like that she is calling James out, but is also not controlling him because, as we know, James Kennedy cannot be controlled, baby. He is a wonder in himself. Okay.
But I feel like she's not letting him control her, which is huge.
No, she's basically like, I feel like she's basically saying like, look, I've told you what I like. What you do with your life is your life. Because I feel like they're too separate. And like, I felt like him and Raquel were like one, because Raquel didn't have a personality.
It's like Raquel was in his shadow, standing like a foot behind him, and Allie's standing next to him. And
I think I misjudged Allie because I did think she was just kind of a Raquel clone.
Me too.
But I do kind of like, right, she has held her own with Raquel twice. She can hang with this group. She can hang with James's mom. She met him organically. She's holding James to a responsibility of like, you know how I appreciate you, so don't fuck it up.
Yeah.
And it's just that. And you know what? Her moon is in Leo. So
you know what? The moon is in Leo.
Fuck yeah, bitch. I don't know what it means. Anyway, but yeah, that's my accept. Okay, it's podcast by the people. It's time to do the final thoughts.
Let's hear it.
Tracy said, this has taken over my life since Friday, and it keeps on coming. Yeah. Can't wait to see LVPN Watch What Happens Live. Well, girl, we saw it. It was a flop. But Tracy also says, I'm here for Christina Kelly, absolutely calling it. Christina Kelly read, baby. She read Rachel.
Wow. And like I said, I don't think they re-edited it. So like that take was included from the beginning. Because we all thought it'd be about like Schwartz.
Nope. Good for her. Anyway, okay, we got some long ones. Are you ready? We're going to do this.
Okay.
So Sarah said, I hope you ladies are ready with a snack because like Casey, I've got some notes.
All right. Bring it for
Clear's
us.
Throat. Things that Raquel had the audacity to do this week.
Oh, God.
She did her audacity list. Are you ready?
I don't know.
1, go shopping with Ariana. Because ideally
on the show,
hooking up.
In my mind, I'm like, no way they didn't go shopping this week. Okay, this is in the show. Okay.
In the show, her and Tom are supposedly hooking up at this point. So she had the audacity to go shopping with Ariana.
Yep. One-on-one. This ain't a group event.
The whole conversation with Ariana is number 2. Just the whole conversation. Number 3, be in Ariana's presence.
Yeah.
The audacity.
Yeah. Yep.
Number 4, saying she felt bad for Katie after asking Schwartz to make out. Serious though, what the fuck?
The audacity on just the OG storyline. The math ain't mathin'. You have no compassion for other people in your presence. Both Ariana and Katie.
I can't. Okay, number 5. She had the audacity to walk around in a bikini around Ariana. The audacity.
Who's on her period and feeling things already.
The audacity. Number 6, just being around Ariana.
Yeah.
Audacity.
Yeah.
7, saying she misses her friendship/relationship with James. Piss off. You let him visit your dog if you did. True. Yeah. She doesn't care that much. The audacity. Don't come for James, baby. Number 8, saying there are slim pickings when it comes to men. Actually, she's not wrong, but given everything that's come out, the sheer audacity.
It's not that slim.
It's not slim enough to hook up with your best friend's boy.
Yeah. Lala said on her podcast that like thousands of people move to LA every single day. Like good looking people. You can go find someone outside of this group. And you are like quote unquote famous. So like people will want to be with you. And you are also pretty. I will give her that.
Yeah. If you need to hook up with someone's boyfriend, why do you pick your supposed best friend of like all people? Of all the people.
I could get over if her and Schwartz like had a relationship. We could all move past it and be like, that was shitty in the moment. And then like next season, we would just ride it out and it'd be fine.
This is different. This hits different.
Because I think a Schwartz and Raquel relationship would be like what Sandoval and Ariana are. It started rocky, not on the best terms, but we all moved forward with it.
Yeah. And like technically he is separated from Katie. Yes. And like Raquel and Katie, they claim to be friends, but
you had arguments with the Schwartz thing.
We can move past
0.
This is 0. The audacity. Okay, number 9. Where was she when Ariana was upset crying over her dog?
Thank you.
Mind you, if
I want answers on that.
If she'd been there, her presence around Ariana when Ariana was crying would have been here.
The audacity.
The audacity. And number 10, her entire conversation with Lala in the bar at Vanderpump Paris. The entire thing. The audacity. Okay. And other things she has.
Okay,
ready? Mm-hmm. Quote of the week. I'm giving Raquel an opportunity to prove that it isn't typically who she is, by Katie Maloney. I cackled. Sarah cackled. Okay, other things. I like James with Allie. I like how he didn't join in on the Raquel bashing that his mom was doing, who gives me kind of Jessica Biel's much older sister vibes. I don't know why. Oh, interesting. Okay. Jacqueline.
I am also shipping Allie and James.
Yeah, I also really like that James didn't talk shit. I think
he's grown a lot. I'm gonna be honest.
I think also if someone James and his mom are very much cut from the same cloth. I see how they are related. I think James then sees like himself and his mom and is like, that's not wise to do. You know, he can see how bad it is when he sees his mom do it. Okay. I didn't love that James's mom was preaching to him about the drinking just because it was annoying and I'd have gotten really irritable, but James handled it so well today. I'd be accepting James this week. Oh, well, I got his.
That's a good pick. You know what? It happened at the beginning of the episode and we didn't see him later on. It was tricky. Yeah. But I feel like
we got more.
The Allie selection was a bonus of James, you know, also a gold star to James.
He's funny. I shout out James every episode. His shit is fucking funny. Okay. Christina Kelly seeing Raquel for who she really is come through. Maybe I missed the part of the Oliver drama online, but I feel like we can't blame Raquel for that. Lisa said she thought he was separated and he said he was separated. I don't know. Maybe someone needs to explain the psychology to me, but if someone is separated, then I feel like they can get with other people. It's kind of like the relationship isn't exclusive anymore. Yes. So like
it's messy for sure.
It was definitely messy. It's definitely Oliver's fault. We all blamed Oliver when it happened.
I just need to know, was it told to her only that he was married? And if she only knew he was married, then I think she takes some responsibility in it. But he said to her he was separated.
Yes. I think it was kind of like a, Raquel, what are we doing? At this point, we were like, date outside the Bravo sphere. Like, you don't have, like, it's rough. Because we had also heard, or I had, about her and Peter. So I was like, this is getting crazy. Yeah. And then, of course, James is still working there. And then we hear the Schwartz thing. So it was just kind of like,
that's true. It is messy. And
it was messy.
Raquel didn't know who Oliver was beforehand. Yeah. So it's not like she watches Beverly Hills and knew he was married this whole time. Like Lala had more. If she would have hooked up with him, she thought that, well, no, if Lala hooked up with Oliver, she thought he was married. So that's a lot messier. Raquel is just meeting this guy for the first time.
Yeah. And he says he's separated. We were all very mad at Oliver. We did cancel him for a few weeks.
He also sucks as a human being.
Okay. And then on the general Scandival drama, well, I know I didn't like Sheena from the preview. I low-key love this Tekken Ultimate Street Fighter form who allegedly hit the Bambi-eyed bitch. I think she needs to be the name of this Tekken alter ego. #justice for Shishi.
Here's the thing. She does ride for her besties.
It's that, right? I don't condone violence, but like, it's the fact that she heard this and was so mad for Ariana that she fucking decked this girl. Like, it's
okay.
funny.
There are also people are releasing photos saying that like Raquel didn't have a black eye. She just has natural darker under eye circles. She definitely has a scratch. 100% will give that to her, but it is under debate in the public opinion on whether or not there actually is a black eye.
That's fine.
It's just messy.
I think Sheena definitely pushed her up against the brick wall for sure.
Hell yeah. Slap that phone out of the hand. Absolutely. I think
can I see Sheena like losing her anger that she gets physical? For sure. That's what the show is.
Yes. But here's my thing. You know what? Like Jax ripped off that chunky sweater in season 1. Stassi backhanded Kristen in season 3.
Sandoval punched Jax in the face.
You feel
in
this?
2. Hey, Jax, you don't feel anything. Do you feel this?
I was DMing with someone and I like said that, and they were like, I actually heard you and Alicia saying that when you wrote it out. And I was like, I heard my own voice saying it when I was typing it out.
Like, people get physical. Like, Kristen threatened like legal action too. It never happened. Jax didn't, because
that's the thing is they just took it. This is a show. Things happen.
It was almost like they took the responsibility though, right? Like Raquel still needs to victimize herself.
I think they looked at it like, okay, I kind of deserved it.
But yeah, like justice for Shishi, man. I love her.
You know what, girl?
She's a mom. Leave her alone. I don't know.
I can't wait for March 29th when this court hearing to keep the temporary restraining order
canceled.
I don't think it'll ever go through.
Okay, so now last but not least, Chrissy has left her thoughts. Well, thank you, Sarah. The Audacity list was fantastic. Okay, Chrissy says, random thoughts on the episode. Enjoy. We will. Thank you so much. Katie Maloney coming in hot with a Zoolander reference has made my week.
Ooh, so sorry. I feel like I need to do some homework. Be back.
Chrissy's left us now.
You know what? Do you want to explain it to us? You know how people are explaining the scandal to us? Can you explain the reference to us?
Comment on here too, so it doesn't get lost in the DMs. Do this. Yeah. Comment back. Okay. Baha, James's mom mentioning that Allie and James meeting was organic, unlike when he met Rachel, and no one connecting her. It was in the same way. I'm dead. It wasn't though. We've corrected. TikTok has corrected. Perfect editing showing bitch ass Tom being a douche canoe to Ariana. I'm sorry, I love the word douche canoe to Ariana about taking care of her dog. This guy's such a narcissist. He's a douche canoe.
It's sad that like if somebody picked me up from the airport and had a soda, because I literally told Alicia I got a soda before we recorded. Like that hits me. That is a love language to me. So like I took such weight in that, being like, wow, he got her a soda. It's a fucking $1. Like that is not some grand showing.
the bar is so low for you to think I might like a soda in this time of need.
Yeah.
Thank you. I agree with James that ultimatums don't work. They can't. I'm glad Allie told him she likes him better when he doesn't drink, but as of right now, his drinking isn't an issue. Yeah.
Yeah.
You could be Tom Schwartz in a crusty old apartment, heavier set, whatever you said. It was so funny.
Yeah.
Okay. Ariana getting off the plane, she took to rush back home to her dying dog, and bitch ass Tom has the nerve to say, "We're going straight to the vet."
Like,
what the fuck?
Dude, we're trying to get as much time in with this dog as possible. Even I understand that.
What a douche canoe.
No,
let's go out to lunch and you can sing me your shitty ass karaoke voice for a while, and then we can go see if my dog is still alive.
Good, like, she's in fucking pajamas. Where did you think you were going? He probably wanted to go home so he didn't have to go with her to the vet.
Can we shower? I haven't shaved my forehead yet.
Do you have the flat iron plugged in for me?
We're not the same color concealer, but that's fine. I'll figure it out. Fuck you. Anyway, next, Lisa calling out Rachel to take responsibility for her part is the Lisa I love.
Thank yes, God, I wanted more of that on Watch What Happens Live. I was so disappointed by Lisa on Watch What Happens Live.
I know. Okay, last one. Katie's mom being the only one to finally say we are at hang on. Katie's mom being the only one to finally say we are ask timing makes her. I'm confused. But basically Katie's mom being the first one to say, like, listen up. We're not going to do this. Makes her mom of the year, next to mine, of course, Chrissy, of course. No matter what Katie says or does, the divorce hurts, and everyone needs to accept that they will still be involved. Going through a divorce, selling your house, splitting custody of the dogs, etc. It's true. Katie and Tom are always going to weirdly be connected because A, they film a show together. B, they've been friends for a long time and they're in the same friend group. And C, they have custody of these dogs.
They literally see each other one-on-one weekly.
Stupid Gordo has to be moved from spot to spot.
It is the first time when Katie talked about it, it was like a casual, like, read between the lines to understand type of thing, and Raquel should have picked it up. The second time, Katie said for herself and even teared up, this is really hard. And the last time, Terry literally hits Raquel over the head with it. How are we moving forward with this still?
This was wild. It's all wild. We could do a 17. I might actually make a PowerPoint for when people go, what is this drama? And I go, let me tell you.
My dad came home and was like, I'm tired of talking about Vanderpump Rules with women. No, and I go, do you know who you are? You talk about so much pointless shit. This is the news.
Chris, you literally like subscribe to our Patreon. How could you not care? It's so rude. Fuck you, Chris. Chris. Anyway,
Chris.
Wow, we did the things. If you're gonna join, now is the time for the Vanderpump.
Call out Chris also in the comments on the Patreon. Call out
Chris. Please, if you are a $5 patron, I'm asking you, please don't comment on the episode, comment on my post, because then I know if you're $5 or not.
Yes.
Join, like, follow us on Instagram at Vanderpasta. We will continue to post whatever we want all the time because that's
it's unhinged.
If you missed my summer house tweets, sorry, they were really in the middle of the Vanderpump.
Unimportant.
Not literally, who cares? Yeah, rate, review, subscribe. Please leave us reviews. Go to leave us a review. I love James so much.
Thanks for joining, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.